Welcome to this video series of interviews from different companies, and in all these series we are discussing about the interviews and the process which are either cracked by me or somebody else who wants to stay anonymous. But there is enough proof gathered that this interview is genuine, which I'll show you in this video also. And also there is a note that all the answers discussed here are mostly correct, and I will explain both the perspectives, like what is the actual answer given by the interviewee and what is the most correct answer if that is not correct. And also, if you found that there is another most closest answer to what is discussed in this video, you can mention it in your comment section, and I will take it from there and update in the description section so that everybody else who watches the video, they'll know the updated and correct answers than what is discussed in this video. In this video, we'll discuss about Wells Fargo interview process. Normally, this will consist of three rounds: technical, managerial, and third being the HR discussion. But in this particular case, the first round has been technical along with the managerial, and the candidate was told that there could be a managerial round, which is second round, or they could not be directly. It's going to be the HR round. So we can see the invite that the candidate has got for this interview, and the skill is for automation. In automation, Selenium with Java for candidates of 4 to 8 years. So that is what this interview belongs to. And the result of interview is that the candidate is not able to through the interview. Now we'll discuss the question and answers this interview is with, and we'll see what could went wrong in the interview. Like I said, this consists of both technical and managerial round, and this went for 40 minutes and it has total of 20 questions. Let us discuss the first technical part first, and then we'll discuss the managerial first. And the first question goes as this: what is the difference between get method and navigate method in Selenium? So we have a driver class which will call get method and navigate method to access the URL of a particular web page. But what is the difference is the question. So here the syntax goes as this. It is driver.get and URL being the argument, and it is driver.navigate.to and again URL being the argument. In both the cases, it will launch the web page which we wanted to do. Is the major difference is that get method will let the driver to wait till the page loads completely, whereas navigate method will not let the driver to wait for the page to be loaded completely. Instead, it will move to the next statement to execute. So that's the major difference between both these methods. And along with that, navigate also will let you to navigate forward and backward and to do refresh on the web page which is launched. This is not possible using the get method. And how this is possible through navigate method is navigate method will not just launch the web page, but it will also maintain the browser history and cookies, so that using the cookies and history it can navigate back and forward through the web page. So that's the major differences between get and navigate methods. Now let us see this in action. So here in Eclipse, I have written a small code, and this is our class technical for Wells Fargo package. And there are two methods. One is get URL method, and another one is navigate URL method. Here we are using both the methods to launch this Orange HRM page. And in both the methods, we have launched the Chrome driver, launched the Chrome web page, in other words. And here, what I have done is I have started capturing the time frame that is between to launch the page by using the both methods. So start is the time when the action is started, end time will capture again the difference of end and start is going to give me the time which run to launch the page using get method and using navigate method over here. So let us run this one and we will see what happens. So first it is executing the get method, and it has executed, and now it has executed the navigate URL method. It has executed both of them, and here is the result. So with the help of get, it took 7602 milliseconds, and with the help of navigate it took just 6527 seconds. So you can clearly see that a navigate is not taking that much time because you don't have to wait the complete page to be loaded, and wherein get method has to wait for the page to be loaded completely. That's why it took longer time. So how can we decide like which we wanted to use is based on the requirement. So if you are looking for faster execution, you can choose navigate method to launch the page, but mostly we'll use get method because we wanted to do certain actions on the home page also, because and that is why we wanted to load the page completely. So that's up to you. Based on your requirement, you can decide which method to use. So that's all about the first question. And the second question is explain different weights used. And this question is followed by another question. First, we'll discuss what are the different weights that are in Selenium. So the weights are uh, implicitly weight, explicitly weight, and the fluent weight. So let us see briefly what they are. So implicit weight syntax goes by this. So implicitly weight. So this is actually driver.manage.timeout, and then it will give the method implicitly weight, followed by two arguments. One is the amount of time and the units of the time. So this implicit weight tells the WebDriver to poll the DOM for a certain amount of time when trying to find an element or elements if they are not immediately available. So what it do is it does give instructions to the WebDriver to poll the DOM for this 10 seconds. That's what it will do. Whereas we have explicit wait, which is also WebDriver wait. The syntax goes this, like we have to create an object. We're calling this method WebDriver wait, which takes two arguments. One is driver and the amount of time, and then there is a further condition that we have to define. So in case of WebDriver wait, it will let the driver to wait till that particular condition is matched. So till then it will do frequent calls to you know that particular statement until the condition is resolved. So that's what WebDriver wait is about. And the major difference you see is that WebDriver will wait for that condition to happen, condition to occur, whereas implicit wait just wait for just let the driver to poll the DOM for this much of amount of time. And finally, the third one is fluent wait. The syntax goes as this fluent wait, and it is of type WebDriver, and it takes the argument as driver. And the only difference between WebDriver wait and fluent wait is that fluent wait will also do the same thing as WebDriver does. It will also wait for that condition to occur. The only difference is in the above case, we are not setting the frequency that it has to check for the condition. But here we have a chance that we can, you know, give an instruction on with what frequency it has to check for the condition has occurred or not. So default implicit wait times are 0, default page load time is -1, which is indefinite in Selenium. So this may change it from Selenium version to version. So yeah, that's one more point you have to remember. So these are the different weights explained to the interviewer, and then the interviewer has asked the question, which is like what are the difference between implicit and explicit weights. So the definition itself has explained the difference, but I didn't understand clearly like what the interviewer is expecting. So I just repeated saying what I have explained about explicit and implicit weights. So that's about the third question. and second question, sorry. And the third question is about difference between close and quit. Okay, so before we discuss this question, let us discuss the fourth question first, because I'm going to take an example where I'm going to explain both third and fourth questions. Now let's go to the fourth question. Uh, for the third question, the syntax is just driver.close and driver.quit. I'll explain the differences. And the fourth question is how to handle multiple windows. So here it is simple. It is that driver dot get windows handle will collect the handles. It will return a set of handles. Then we have to iterate through the window handles, and then we can take the window which we wanted to handle, and we pass that as an argument to driver dot switch to dot window and child window. So child window is capturing one of the windows in the above method. So that is how you know we can handle the multiple windows. The only mistake that here happened is, instead of saying that driver dot get window handles, I told it as get windows. It's just a mistake, that not that I don't know. So in the flow, I just told that get windows will let you collect the window handles, and you can use one of the handles to handle in the switch to statement. So this could be the mistake what I have done for this particular question. Now let's see a demo for this third question and the fourth question. So let's go to the demo. Here I just skipped the demo for implicit and WebDriver and fluent waits, but it's all right. It's you know all about a theory. So here the explanation is like I said, we have again launched this page, and we are trying to do certain actions, which is entering username, password, and then click on action. And syntax goes like manage.timeout implicitly wait for this much of time for this statement to be executed. So it will wait for 10 seconds, up to 10 seconds, I mean to say. If this statement is executed successfully, which is like the element is found within 10 seconds, it will proceed to the next statement. The maximum time it will wait is 10 seconds. And similarly for WebDriver wait, this is the syntax which we had discussed previously, and this will call the until method, which will let you define the condition. So the condition here is that we wanted certain element to be clickable. All right, then that element is this web element, which is welcome. So WebDriver wait will let the driver to wait till condition occurs, and the maximum time it is going to wait till it throws an exception is 15 seconds. And in between it will keep checking whether this condition has occurred or not, and it will ignore any exception by default. So that's about WebDriver wait. In Fluent wait, the only modification to WebDriver wait is here we got a freedom to choose the polling time. So within this polling time, so for every 500 milliseconds, it will keep checking for that condition whether it has occurred or not. And whenever it checks, if it get an exception, it will ignore that exception. Mostly the exception which we'll get is no such element found exception, if that web element we are looking for is not loaded by then. And the web element which we are looking is again welcome, similar to what we have seen in the previous, WebDriver demo. So this is what it will happen. I can run these, but it will make the length of the video more, so I'm skipping this one now. Now let us see about driver close and driver quit method, and what is the difference, and also we'll see how to handle multiple windows. So like I said, here we have get windows handle. Let me just quickly explain. We call the driver, and I open the web page, and have done a click operation which is opening another window. So there I'm trying to handle the second window. So what I have done is I have initiated this one. this method, which is get window handle. It is not window handles. You can notice the difference. It is get window handle, which will capture the handler for main window, and get window handles will capture the list of windows, and it will return set string. So in the interview, I would have probably answered it as list. So that's another mistake what I have done, but it is actually returning a set string. Okay, return type. So I have captured it, and with the help of iterator, I am iterating through the set string, and I am trying to match the windows. In this case, it's only one window, so I just captured that window uh, with one iteration. So I captured that window when this is equal to main window. I am ignoring it, otherwise I am capturing the second this to child window. Now I have printed the child window title so that you know that okay, the child window is handled. So this is it, and I am closing the driver. So, and later I will show when I execute driver.quit what will happen. Okay, so let me run this one so that we know that we have handled the windows. So it has launched the page. It clicked on the URL, which is taking to the new web page, and we have closed it using driver.close. So see, so it has closed the new window. So it didn't close the entire browser. Okay, now you see that, right? So what happened is when I gave an instruction of driver.close, what happened is it hasn't closed that entire browser. Instead, it just closed the current active window. So that's what has happened with driver.close statement. Now, what I'll do is I will comment this statement and then I'll uncomment driver.quit. So now what it will do. So let us see. Let me run the program again. Now, okay, it started. It has executed. It launched the web page. It clicked on some link, which is giving a new window. Now driver.quit. So what happened is it has closed the entire browser section. So that's the difference between driver.close and driver.quit. And here you can see that the title of child window, which means that the script has handled the child window successfully. So that's about you know mm, the third and fourth questions. Now let us see the fifth question. Can we use implicit wait and explicit wait at the same part of the code, and what will happen? So I really didn't understand this question. So, but I have just tried to understand this question because I never tried to use implicit wait and explicit wait at the same part of the code and see what happened. So initially my explanation goes as this, that there could be a compilation error. Then I gave a rethinking and I started imagining that I have written implicit wait code. So what it will do is it will let the driver to it will give an instruction to driver to poll the DOM for 10 seconds, for example. So if we define explicit wait by passing an argument for driver to wait for 15 seconds, what it will do is probably it will override the implicit wait statement, and it will take the time as 15 seconds, and it will try to do something. So that's how my explanation has gone, but eventually later I found that this is what the explanation should be. So here it goes, the correct answer. So mixing the implicit weights and explicit weights will cause unintended consequences, namely weights sleeping for maximum time even if the element is available or the condition is true. So what does it mean is, so it will not behave properly while handling the wait times. It will take the maximum wait time even though the element has appeared. So and the warning is that don't do this, like don't use and mix the explicit and implicit weights. So now we'll see a demo. So what will happen if we mix them? Okay, so let us go to this technical class and let me comment these methods, get URL and navigate URL, which we have seen. Let me uncomment different weights. Okay, so here this is little tricky demo, but we will try to understand what happens if we use both the weights. All right, so it's a regular flow. We have launched the driver, we have done some actions, and we started capturing the start time to know what happens with the wait times. So first we'll see um, what happens with the implicit wait. I have commented the WebDriver wait, and I try to do identify whether certain element is displayed or not. I put it in a try catch block so that I my code doesn't stop execution if even it faces some exception, because we are actually playing with the exceptions in this particular case. And I try to capture the time reference to know that elapsed time. So okay, with implicit wait, what is going to happen? I have defined 5 seconds as a timeout. Now let me run, save and run. So what happened is it is 72 seconds. All right, so with implicit wait, it took 72 milliseconds in fact. So let us use WebDriver wait now. We gave a timeout as 15 seconds and we'll see what happens. Okay, I think I didn't run it. Let me run this. Okay, we got the result already, I believe. Okay, it is launching, it is clicking and doing something. Okay, the elapsed time is 141 milliseconds. So with WebDriver wait, we got this time. Sometimes both of these times could match because the point is that it is not clearly waiting for 5 seconds. It is working even faster. But to know the main difference of mixing these weights, let me run this with both the statements. Save and run. It has launched the page. Enter the credentials, clicked on login button, and it has checked whether this is displayed or not. That's fine. That's not what we are interested. What we are interested is about the time. Now the time is 1356 milliseconds, which is roughly 13 seconds. Not 13 seconds. Yeah, 13 seconds. Correct. See, you see, it is waiting for maximum time when we have used both the statements. So that's what here what is tried to be said. So it is causing a confusion and it is giving unintended consequences. So that's what this is about. And let's see the sixth question. So difference between no such element and element not found exception in Selenium. I couldn't recall this question. There went some fuss around this question. I tried to ask clarifications of what this question is all about. But again, she didn't explain. I have explained like there is no not found exception in Selenium, and interview he tried to explain that this is not the question, and so it went little bit messed up at this point of discussion. I couldn't recall exactly what this question is about. So now the next part is going to be managerial. uh, okay, let's finish that also quickly instead of making another video. The seventh question is, how do you set expectations of the team when a new project comes in for delivery? So that's the question. So I started understanding like by asking even more details what exactly this question is about, uh, such as like uh, I will say that I'll make the team understand what are the new requirements, and it is not about how do you do it. The question is specifically about how do you set expectations of the team in order to deliver that project. So I didn't give from the perspective like what should we do as a person like to deal with a new project. So it should be more to how you make your team ready for this new project. So my answers goes like this. I will arrange meetings with the team and also the client or stakeholders or the business owners us to understand the requirement clearly, and then we'll have a different meeting with the team internally to know that how much clarity the team has about the requirement, and we'll do brainstorm sessions to understand the requirement more clearly when some part of the team is not clear about the requirement, and we'll choose the team members. uh, Actually, there are other factors like in choosing some people from the team who are for this new project, but I'm assuming that I'm taking all the team. That's why I'm not talking about the allocation of work to different team members. I'm talking a team as a whole. So after the requirement analysis, we'll do brainstorm sessions, and I'll set the deadlines for the team, like from the client. I'll give the deadlines for the team, and what I'll also do is we'll try to understand what are the new technologies or new skills that we have to be trained on if we don't have the skill to handle that particular requirement. So that's what I'll do. And what else? So these are some of the points which I have told. If you got too many other points also, that could be correct. So you can mention that in comments so that everybody else will know how you are also thinking. So please leave your comments on this question. Now let's move on to the eighth question. Eighth question is, how will you handle any new projects? So the previous question is about how you will make the team ready, and this is about how will you handle the new projects. So it's again starting from the requirement analysis, and since when I say that how will you, I'm thinking from a point of as a lead, how will you handle the projects? So as a lead, it's a different explanation. As an individual contributor, it's going to be a different uh, explanation. And as a lead, this is how the explanation goes. So we'll do the resourcing, identify the resources, and we'll schedule meeting with the product owners to take more inputs, and we'll go on for test planning and prepare the test strategy and identify the right skilled people for that particular new project. And if we have to adjust the uh, resource, like if he has already some work, free him and get him for this project. So that's how you will do to handle a new project. And if you have a different explanation for this question, you can mention it in different command, and all the answers could be correct and all are welcome for these questions. So it depends on interviewee who is taking that interview and for what role, so that he wanted to judge your understanding about the requirement and about such questions. And another question is, why do you want to change the company? So I have given my reasons why I want to change the company. This can't be specific, it has to vary from person to person. For such generic questions, I'll make a different video how effectively we can answer such questions which are experience based questions. I'll not discuss this one now. And finally, the question is about package discussion. So here I have explained what are my expectations. um, so far I know I have done everything good in this interview except uh, small mistakes like, you know, understanding, I mean, explaining while explaining get windows. I have explained get windows. It has get windows instead of get window handles. But I know that it is not correct, but it just went on the flow. That is one thing which possibly could have gone wrong. And explaining implicit and explicit weights. So I have explained it good so far I know. Sorry, not this one. I have explained the third question correctly about this one, but this fifth question, what happens is something which I didn't explain confidently, but because I haven't done it. But so far I know I felt that I have tried to do a good attempt in explaining. But yeah, that's all about it. And this question, so this is somewhere, we have uh, no clarity in the question what has been asked. So this is where, possibly something didn't go much well. And the other questions are managerial questions. Here I have explained my perspective, and I feel that what I have explained is correct for question 7, 8, and 9th. 10th question is where I felt suspicious, like about the package discussions. I would suggest don't discuss about packages in this level of interviews wherein it is about a technical round. So majorly, if it is not HR or some senior manager, don't answer this question. Try to avoid this question. And sometimes obviously you can't say I don't want to answer this question. Try to, divert this question, because this is where I felt that it didn't go well. So I had some expectations. Probably the technical person who is interviewing me, uh, you know, didn't uh, like, you understand what I'm talking about. So try to avoid answering this question. Try to be smart answering this question and try to avoid this in initial rounds. So that's all suggestion for me, and this is what could have gone wrong possibly in this interview. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. If you like this video, please like it and share it to your friends. Also, if you wanted to see more content like this, please do subscribe to this channel and also spread the word to your friends. And if you miss any of the videos, you can refer to this channel, and also you can refer to this blog which is given below, which is forwardstyles.blogspot.com. And also, if you wanted to contribute your knowledge through wider audience, you can join us by writing it to this given email, which is sharetesttube@gmail.com. And also, if you have any doubts on any of the videos, again, you can write to us over sharetesttube@gmail.com. Thank you for watching this video.